Hello everyone, I'm Prerna Das and I'm currently working at the National Museum, New Delhi in the capacity of a museum assistant. On the occasion of International Museum Day, I would be briefly speaking on the topic Overcoming Language Barrier in Museum Spaces. As is known, India is a nation with a multicultural heritage. It has over 121 languages and more than 50,000 dialects. The Constitution of India also recognizes 22 major languages amongst these. So, naturally, this makes it a daunting task for museums across the nation to make this diversity of language accessible to a wide audience. English is the language that has been bridging this gap for a very long time and to a large extent, and it has been the dominant form of language used both for the display of permanent collection of exhibits and also for temporary exhibits that were held in these museum spaces. A section of museums in India provide various kinds of aid for a large number of foreign audiences, but even here the language used is quite limited, such as French, German, and Dutch, which are some of the most commonly and popularly known languages of Europe. Many of the Indian museums provide bilingual labels for local visitors, with English as the primary one, followed by the official state language. However, our sense of inclusion needs to reflect a more diverse spirit. Besides the National Museum, the state museums incorporating more vernacular languages will show that the museums care about their visitors, that they respect the part of the country they come from, their culture and community, and eventually acknowledging their social identity. Museums have been showing a great deal of interest in breaking this language barrier in their spaces, but the implementation of it has proved to be costly and also time consuming. In the postmodern era now, with the advancement of technology and with the development of various other virtual resources, this barrier can now be broken to a certain extent. Museums now have an opportunity to rethink this issue and redesign their museum spaces. I have picked up a few examples where museums across the world have experimented with ways to break the language barrier with trial and error method. One such example is of the Amsterdam Museum in Netherlands in one of their temporary exhibits. So here they completely did away with text label and incorporated the use of QR codes instead. In this way, viewers could access a plethora of information in any preferred languages just by scanning the code next to the object in any format that they wish for, such as audio, visual, and even textual. So, this method may prove to be very useful as all it requires is a smartphone with the right application. And everybody carries a smartphone nowadays. It is in our hands all the time. So again, it is very time consuming. It is also sustainable in a sense, cost effective. So a lot of advantage to the use of QR codes. One of the best part of this method is that the decision of the limit of accessibility of information would be left completely up to the visitor. So one could know more or one could know less depending on their will and depending on their mood. So in this way, the interaction with the art object becomes more personal for the visitor. The amount of content that they wish to consume would be completely up to them without anything lost in translation. And with options provided for several available formats, it is equally accessible to people who can read, to people who cannot read, and to people with disabilities. Some museums of the world have also thoroughly experimented by engaging the audience without incorporating any language at all. They have used instead modern ways of expression such as the emojis or the emoticons, which is a primary mode of expression in instant messaging. So they are completely done away without text. This is again a good and a fascinating method because the common human language is feelings and emotions. One museum in Belgium have even used a trio of mimes to offer silent guides. This is a very avant-garde kind of experiment. So this type of experiment are somehow limited to only certain types of display. When it comes to general display of collection, it might get a little difficult to be uh, bringing up such unconventional ways. But again, we need to think that each museum is unique, so each museum needs to approach this issue in a different manner. They need to study their environment, they need to study their audiences, they need to study their staff. So every museum needs to approach this in a unique, personal way. I would like to conclude by saying that it must be a museum's formal commitment to engage linguistically diverse groups and to bring them in as much as possible to know more of what could be done with such an issue. It can also deepen the institute's own practice of inclusion and understanding of multicultural audiences. Thank you for listening to my talk. I hope you really enjoyed it. Thank you.